Tuesday, it is the 17th day of March. It is the 76th day of the year, and according to 365 Tao, our word for today is Sanctity on this 76th day of 2026. How are you feeling this morning? Ready to face another Tuesday? I'm looking outside my window here in my studio in Veliko Tarvino, and it is a beautiful blue sky out there. It's going to be another beautiful day here in Bulgaria. So hopefully you're waking up to a beautiful day wherever you are in the world right now. As I said, we're on day 76 already. 76 days have gone by of this year, and our word for today is Sanctity. So grab your books, grab your copy of 365 Tao by Deng Ming Dao, grab your journals and something to write with. Find a nice quiet and comfy place where you're not going to be disturbed for the next 15 minutes or so while we read together. Take a nice deep breath in with a long exhale out to bring yourself to this present moment. Remember, that's the easiest way to connect with the here and now is through your breath. And every time you take a longer exhale than your inhale, you're sending a little message to your mind that it's time to relax. So if at any point during the day you kind of need to hit the reset button, or you're feeling a little stressed, or you kind of just need to chill for a moment, remember that your breath is always available to you, and that's one of the easiest ways to do so. So let's start reading on day 76 on the topic of sanctity. Every soul is inviolable. Any thought can be private. The deepest goal is to find sanctity's source. The body may be ravaged and hacked to pieces. Well, that's quite a visual. But the mind may never be invaded. It is only when we permit others to influence us that our minds may be entered. That's a really great sentence. I'm going to reread it. It is only when we permit others to influence us that our minds may be entered. So we are in control of our own mind unless we permit somebody else to influence us. It really all comes back to you. You are in control of your mind. You are in control of your choices. And unless you give somebody else the permission to influence you, that can't change. I think that's a really important way to think about, the control that you have over the way that who you are, how you live, the choices you make. And only you can give the permission to somebody else to influence that. Evil may thrive on enslaving us physically, emotionally, or mentally, but it can do so only by deception. That is why we must remember the sanctity of our own souls. Our thoughts are private. As long as we are determined, evil cannot sway us. People think that others can read minds or that gods watch our every movement, but no master, no psychic, and no god can enter our inner gate if we choose not to let them in. So think about the inner gate. When I saw that, I kind of got an intuitive hit of an inner gate, almost like being a boundary, right? If you're familiar with any form of having good communication skills or strong relationships, it's important to have healthy boundaries around your relationships with others. And so get this visual in your brain of an inner gate. What a gate is a boundary, right? So you are in control of that gate. You're in control of that boundary. And it says here, no master, no psychic, no god can enter your inner gate if you choose not to let them in. So that's kind of reinforcing the importance of having a healthy boundary, a healthy gate between what's going on outside of you and what you allow to come in. So maybe take a moment to think about that concept of, you've probably heard this a lot, like you need to have boundaries, you need to set boundaries, you need to have healthy boundaries. It's saying it right here. Our inner gate cannot be entered unless we choose to let somebody in. So let's continue. By withdrawing into the sanctity of our souls, we can also know ourselves. So think about that. We've got the gate, we've got the boundary, nobody else can come in, so we can be here and get to know ourselves. This effort cannot be carried forth by others. It can only be accomplished through the self-effort of living and engaging in ongoing contemplation. Only we can enter the most sacred core of our being and find the secrets of life. Wow, so that last sentence kind of reinforces also that everything that we need is within us, right? We don't need to go outside or looking for external things. We really need to come inside, put that healthy boundary up so we don't have any, negative influences trying to come in, a healthy boundary coming into ourselves, and that's how we will find the secrets of life. And I think this also comes back to having a strong meditation practice, which keeps coming up in all of these passages that we're reading. This is because we're withdrawing into ourselves. We're putting a healthy boundary. We're not permitting anything, as it says here, evil or anything bad to come across that gate and come in where that boundary is. And we're creating this, sense of self that we're going to cultivate. We're going to get to know ourselves. We're going to go within. We're going to meditate. We're going to work on ourselves. As it says here, we're going to do effort for self-cultivation, being the best versions of ourselves, all these kind of things. So that's an interesting passage to think about this morning. And if you are perhaps working on having stronger boundaries in your relationships, perhaps you want to have better communication with some people, perhaps you need to reevaluate some of the relationships that you have with people right now. Have a think about that concept of your boundary being a gate, and you're in control of that gate. And on this side, this is where you are, and on the other side, that is where they are. And you have the choice to allow whoever comes into that gate or whoever is not allowed. It's up to you. So having a strong boundary and a healthy boundary, even with people you love, you also need to set some limits. You can't just have the gate open, right? You can't just let everything come in all the time whenever anybody else wants. You need to have a healthy boundary set up, a healthy gate. And when it feels right for you, or when you have the resources to accommodate somebody else, or whenever it feels like the right thing for you, then the gate can be opened. But the gate shouldn't just be open all the time, that people can just come in whenever they want and take whatever they want or anything like that. That's what the concept of having a healthy boundary is all about. So perhaps that's something that you might need to think about in your own life. And if you've been kind of hearing this come up, because it does come up a lot, that word boundaries, this is a great passage to reread. And this could be also a great journaling prompt for you as well, having a think about perhaps where you need to set some limits in certain relationships. Perhaps you already have got some healthy boundaries around some relationships or things like that. So maybe just take a few moments to think about that. That can be a journaling prompt for you today as well. So thank you so much for being here for 76 days. It's always great to start the morning with you, and I will check in with you tomorrow. Bye.